Hi everyone, this is Lokesh Hujarkar from AIIMS Bhopal, and I'll be discussing a research paper which was originally submitted by R.S. Maitri of AIIMS New Delhi, and the topic is acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis in India due to enterovirus 70. So now let's have an overview of the timeline of the pandemic that occurred. ACH is a highly contagious infection which is characterized by eye pain, eyelid swelling, and subconjunctival hemorrhage. Widespread pandemic of ACH has occurred in many parts of the world, particularly in the tropics. Two enterovirus species that are associated with the spread are enterovirus G70 and Coxsackie A virus 24. Enterovirus G70 was the cause for the original pandemic that occurred in 1969 in Ghana, that spread globally from early 1970s in 1980s. Then since 1970s, the epidemiology of the disease has caused by a variant of enterovirus that was Coxsackie A virus 24. It has intertwined with that of enterovirus G70. Disease of the West has been confined to seasonal outbreaks in Caribbean, Central America and Florida. In India, the similar seasonal outbreak occurred in the season of rainy season in August and September in 1996 in New Delhi. So the reporting period that covered the pandemic was from 1970 to 2005. During 1970 to 2005, a total of 5 to 812 enterovirus detections were reported to NESS. Out of them, about 29772 were during 1983 to 2005. Lab participation, the numbers of reports that declined throughout the 1990s, but then they again raised after 2000. So before starting with the original topic of the research paper, let's have background knowledge about acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis. So as the name suggests, it is the inflammation of conjunctiva with including the major component of hemorrhage. So hemorrhage is what is the characteristic feature of this disease. Apart from that, there is conjunctival congestion, vascular dilatation and edema. ASC was first described in 1969 in Ghana, from where it spread to various parts of the world, including India, China, Japan, Singapore, US, etc. It is also known as Apollo conjunctivitis or Apollo disease, as the Apollo mission was launched by NASA in 1969, and the people of Ghana, they were supposed to see the Apollo satellite from Earth, and they thought that they developed conjunctivitis because of seeing Apollo satellite in the sky. So that is why it's also known as Apollo conjunctivitis. Two important etiologies which are associated with ASC are enterovirus 70 and Coxsackie virus 24. They are both the members of family Picmonaviridae, and humans are the sole host. The disease usually resolves in about 5 to 7 days, but some patients may develop minor complications like poliomyelitis. Various diagnostic modalities for assessment of enterovirus are PCR, molecular serotyping, culture assessment, and histological examination. All of this later. The TDs for ASC are allergic conjunctivitis, red eye, and viral conjunctivitis. As of now, no specific drug is available for treatment of AHC. It is solely symptomatic, and during the pandemic area, what was used was a quantification method that proved to be helpful to limit the spread of AHC. Following is shown a picture of enterovirus. We know that enterovirus has got icosahedral symmetry, about 25-30 nanometer diameter, and the genome is a single-stranded positive sense RNA, and it is an unencapsulated virus. And here we can see an image of acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis. We can see there is inflammation and congestion of the conjunctiva with hemorrhage. So now starting with the research study which was conducted in AIIMS Delhi. The aim of the study was to identify the etiology of outbreak of ASC in India in 1996. The original pandemic actually occurred in Ghana in 1969, then again it recurred in 1981, and then it came to India in 1996. The study was conducted to know the etiological agent by viral culture, immunofluorescence, neutralization test, and PCR. So what was the methodology adapted for conduction of this study? Around 30 patients were enrolled who were clinically diagnosed with bilateral ASC, who attended to OPD of Rajendra Prasad Center for Ophthalmic Sciences during the outbreak. A conjunctival swab was taken from each of their right eye, and it was transferred immediately to the transport media, which was Heinz balanced salt solution with antibiotics. and it was transported to the regional virology lab, where it was then treated with antibiotics such as penicillin and streptomycin. Which were treated with antibiotics then was centrifuged, and the supernatant fluid was separated out and it was used for cell culture. As we know that the viruses cannot be cultured on the routine culture media, there are different cell lines used. So for enterovirus, the Hep2 cell line was used, which contained 24 well plates, which were contained cover cells. These cover cells were coated with the virus. And the technique used was modification of a centrifuge enhanced viral culture technique. Cytopathic effect was observed, as we can see in the given image that on immunofluorescence there is rounding and refractority of the cells, which suggests enterovirus infection. After that, during that time, RT-PCR was also available at AIIMS Delhi. So RT-PCR was used as a screening method. So the 13 samples were screened. Out of that, 10 samples they showed amplicon band, while the negative controls they didn't show. So again, the PCR showed us the enterovirus infection and helped us to narrow down the search. This is a picture showing us the result of PCR. These are the various bands which are produced. These are amplicon bands. Lane 1 is of HAE3 marker. Lane 2 is of negative control. Lane 3 is of positive control. And lane 4, 5 and 6 are of the clinical samples which we used. So we can see there is band which is seen in positive control, and in lane 4 and 6 which shows enterovirus infection. After that, viral antigen detection was done by indirect immunofluorescence assay using specific antibodies to EV70, Coxsackie virus 24 and adenovirus. Now after that, we will be discussing various findings which were observed in the tests which were conducted. So as we know that there are 13 patients were enrolled, out of which 9 were male and 4 were females between ages 14 to 37 years of age. They came to the OPD with complaints of redness of eye, watering and mild photophobia and foreign body sensation in both eyes. The examination revealed conjunctival congestion, interspersed subconjunctival hemorrhages and superficial punctate keratitis. There were no neurological manifestations which were observed. So coming to the culture, on culture, after the culture, cytopathic effects were observed which were already seen, and on immunofluorescence, the monoclonal antibodies to enterovirus 70 that tested positive. These specimens which were positive for EV70, they were again tested with monoclonal antibodies against adenovirus and Coxsackie virus 24, which yielded negative results. Then the neutralization tests were done, which again confirmed the identification of all the 10 clinical isolates were positive for EV70, and PCR was done, which again came out to be positive for EV70 in about 11 of the cases out of 13, which included the 10 cases which were positive by culture. What we conclude from this entire study was that enterovirus 70 was the causative agent of outbreak of ALC in India, which was nothing but the same prototype which caused the pandemic in 1969 and in 1981. PCR was highly useful because of its rapidity, and it helped down narrowing the search of etiologic agent for enterovirus. With the availability of PCR based on EV70 specific primers, this highly specific centrifugation enhanced technique is likely to be used increasingly in future in various studies. However, there were certain limitations that were to this study which I came across. First of all, there were 13 samples out of which 11 were sensitive for PCR and 10 were positive for culture. But the remaining 3, they showed negative for PCR. So this shows that that culture solely could not be the most sensitive method for diagnosis of enterovirus. It should be coupled with PCR too to confirm the diagnosis. Another thing, the study was conducted in northern India, so there was no geographical or environmental variation that could be studied. And one more thing that I came across that I think could is the limitation that the original pandemic occurred in 1969 that showed positivity for both enterovirus 70 as well as Coxsackie virus 824 antibodies. But when this study was conducted, it showed only positivity for enterovirus 70 in India. So this resemblance could not be reasoned in this study. Finally, these are various references that I used. Thank you very much and have a nice day.